for my spiritual people, especially people who are like designated spiritual teachers, like that is why you're on this earth. Um, I want to know if this is just something. Obviously, it's not just. There's billions of people in the world, but can you relate to this? Sometimes, especially the more I get to know myself and the more my gifts grow, I will have these random moments of feeling just like stuck or emotionally like all over the place. Yesterday I woke up and I just did not want to get out of bed. Like I knew I had to take my daughter to her kids club, and so I was like, I'm just gonna take her to kids club and I'm gonna get right back in bed and I'm just gonna sleep. I don't have anything to give. I was mad at universe. I was mad at my spirit guides. I was just upset because I felt like I'm putting in all this effort. I am the best and most authentic version of myself, and like what I expect of my life, like what I align with of how I want to live is not showing up. It's not where I want it to be. And I couldn't understand why I was having these extremely strong feelings and emotions. And it hit me that I was like, okay, I know the last couple weeks I've been, not the last couple weeks, like the last week I've been feeling a little bit depressed. And I know that I'm going through another ego death, another dark night of the soul. Um, but I was like, how? I just went through one. Like how you have those spiritual awakenings that come back to back to back to back. But anyway, I was like, I just went through one. So I want to say all this, long story short. I ended up talking to a woman and she just randomly asked me advice about what she was going through, and everything she was going through, and this is the first time this is happening for her, was an ego death. Like, didn't want to get out of bed, unmotivated, doesn't know why she's feeling this way. Does she need to go to therapy and a psychiatrist? Is something wrong with her brain? Like all of the symptoms of an ego death, right? And because she was describing it and I had just like kind of temporarily experienced it in that couple days, I was like, you're going through an ego death. And I'm very like, and it was just very easy for me to guide her to what she needs to do. Like, okay, you need to first go on a journey, because her spirit guides were like, she doesn't know herself. Like, she's going through an ego death of everything in the past, and this is the first time that she's going to be going on a journey of who she is as a soul, who she is without what she was told to be. Like, she was telling me that she was experiencing, not believing in the belief system that she was raised in, and questioning it, and feeling guilt and feeling shame and feeling fear, which is, I grew up in a very Christian household. I'm like the first person in my family to ever be like, I'm not Christian. And I was telling her, like, yes, I understand that. Like, I've experienced that fear. Like, even though I stopped being Christian in 2015, there are still times, because of how much it was drilled in my head, that I will wake up in sweats believing that, okay, I'm going to hell, or I'm doing the wrong thing and God's going to punish me. And that's what she was going through. And I say all this and I ask all this, especially spiritual teachers, like, if we end up having these symptoms right when we're about to align with somebody who needs us to strongly understand what they're going through, because you can go through a dark night of the soul, let's say 5, 10, 15 years ago, and it's like, okay, yeah, I don't, you don't really remember how much it sucked. But when you are right in the midst of it, and then universe sends a student, universe sends someone who needed to hear that they're not alone, and to know that this is not just something wrong with them, and for you to be able to be it's right on the forefront of your mind and your spirit, because not only have you just experienced it, but you're freshly remembering those wounds and how it made you feel. Um, it was just like I said, absolutely random that this person came to me with this. Like, we're not close. Not be, we're just we're I don't want to give too much information about this person, but like, we're not close as if we establish a friendship or really talk outside of like a professional setting. But I guess she just felt like I need to talk to her about it. She didn't know I was a spiritual teacher. She didn't know I do tarot. She didn't know anything about this about me. And she just randomly was like, I have a question, and I feel guilty and I feel bad saying it, but I don't know who else I can say it to and who I can talk to about it. But well, is it okay if I say it to you? And then that's when she started telling me that she was going through all these experiences. Anyway, I say all this to say, if you are experiencing like a random change in your emotions and your trust and how you're feeling, or if you're going through these random awakenings and upgrades, it's because the people that you are meant to speak life into, to help guide, are coming online. Especially all, everything going on in the atmosphere with the planets and all that kind of stuff like that. But people are massively coming online. And us teachers, the people we were always meant to be teachers, and we're like, oh, where are my clients? Where are this? Like all of these questions. They're coming online now. Be ready. Do not confuse that you feeling this phase or these emotions and things again as like your setback, or you haven't learned, or you're doing the wrong thing. This is literally just so you can be the best approachable teacher in this moment for the people who were always meant to align with you and learn from you. All right. Love you guys. Hope that helped.